Hello, my name is Todd Butterworth, and I have your student for Algebra 2 G Block. I am working along with Mr. Milius, who is my co-teacher, and Mr. Milius is live in person, and I am remote, so I am what they're calling beaming in to your student's class. So that your students can access me from the smartboard or via Zoom breakout rooms and that sort of thing. So I will explain kind of some of that as we go forward here. So the class structure, the overall structure, we have two different pieces of our class. So we have our remote days where the students have some videos to watch that Mr. Carlson and I have created that would replace what would normally be kind of lecture time. Don't really lecture, but kind of big class discussion time. We're trying to make things work as best as we can. So we wanted to do that as the video part of class. So we have other time in class to kind of give kids individual help, basically. And then there's some other type of assignment related to videos. Could be through Jamboard, which is something they're doing a lot of or working with a lot, but they can also do the work in their workbook. So they should have a physical book that they can write in. If they don't have that, they should touch base with us to make sure that they get one. So with those videos, we embed questions within them that stop the video and the kids have to answer questions. So the better that the kids can answer those questions, the better their understanding is what's going on. If they struggle on answering those questions, they should talk to us. For the in-person days, this is the goal. We're not quite there yet, but we're trying to get there. It's been a crazy start to the year, but we're trying to get to, this is our goal. So the goal is they're going to be some sort of warm-up. It'll be usually through Desmos. Desmos is just an online graphing calculator that the students will be using to give them kind of a visual access to the graphs that we're looking at and that sort of thing. And it's just a very useful tool that we'll be using throughout the year. So we want to get them really comfortable with it. And that may change as the year goes on in terms of whether we're doing the warm up with Desmos or something else, but that's where we are right now. And then we'll do a quick review of remote work. Right now, I think we're taking too long reviewing the remote work. Part of that might be because some of our students are not doing the remote work that they should be doing, so they don't have the understanding we were hoping they would have when they come into class. So the more on top of things they are, the better they will do. We'll also do 20 to 30 minutes of Mathia, which is a self-paced math program, so that students will log in and they'll work at their own pace. So students could be in all different places. And my ideal would be they're also in Zoom, and whatever they're working on, if they get stuck on something, they'll have me come to their desk where they can talk to Mr. Milius, who's there in person, and I can join their breakout room and I can show up on their computer. They can share their screen and we can have a conversation about what they're looking at. That's my ideal world. Many of your students are not quite comfortable with that yet, but I'm hopeful that we will get there. And then after the Mathia stuff, we'll do another activity to kind of keep working on those current skills that the students are working on. We'll also have quizzes that we'll explain in a little bit. Sometimes those will be in person and sometimes those will be remotely. I'd love to do them remotely, but sometimes our students are not as responsible remotely, so we have to do them in person to make sure that those quizzes get done. So the grading of this Algebra 2 course, there's going to be several different pieces. There's going to be spirals, which are the quizzes. I'll explain those on the next slide. There's remote work. So the students have to watch the videos, answer the questions within the videos, and they get 5 points for doing those for each video they watch. And then they also have to do whatever assignments that we ask them to do. And then, because there are assignments within kind of each chunk that we're talking about. And then there are journals. So this is my 17th year teaching. And it may seem weird for a math teacher to be doing journals, but I find it to be an incredibly useful tool to get to know your students, especially those students who don't talk to me much in class. This is an opportunity for them to communicate with me and kind of let me into who they are and how they learn and kind of what's going on outside of school, what they're interested in, all that stuff. So I found it to be a really useful tool to communicate with your students. And then another part of their work is in-person work. So stuff that we're doing in class may be graded and they'll get some points for those. So the spirals, those are the quizzes. So their quizzes are going to be in two sections. They're going to receive a grade on each section separately. So you'll notice that when they take a quiz, two different scores actually go in. So the reason that two scores go in is because I want to look at their improvement on an individual topic. So our first topic was patterns. And on the first time the students saw patterns, many of them struggled. So if that's the case, that's okay. what we can do is they'll see it a second time, and your students should talk to me if they struggle, and they should make sure to understand what they did wrong and learn from their mistakes, because they'll see that topic again. So when they see that topic a second time, hopefully they will improve. And what we will do is go back and change their grade. So if they didn't do so hot the first time, but they did well the second time, we'll change their grade to reflect that. If they do worse, we're not going to lower their grade. So it's only to help them. If you need further explanation, that feel free to reach out to me and I will try to do better. And on the quizzes, they can use resources. So we do reviews for those quizzes. And I do a video of me doing the review and kind of explaining my thinking and that sort of thing on the review. They're welcome to use that during the quiz. If they forget kind of how I approach something or whatever it is, they're welcome to use that as a resource. They just can't talk to each other. So feel free to reach out to us. It's best if you email both of us. So feel free to email Todd Butterworth at danvers.org and CC Thomas Milius at danvers.org so we can both see your communication, and we will make sure to get back to you as quickly as we can. We are getting a lot of emails because it's a primary way that your students, our faculty, our administration, our parents, all that stuff are communicating with us. So if it takes us a day or two, please forgive us. If it takes more than 2 days and you don't hear from us, not counting the weekend, please feel free to reach out again or ask your student to let us know that you did send an email. Sometimes those emails do go to spam, and so I have to go searching for them. As I said, please feel free to reach out and let us know if you have any questions whatsoever.